Hi there, welcome to another tutorial. This time we're going to be looking at heart rate, and we're just going to be clearing up some of the points and concepts about heart rate which you may well encounter in your GCSE course. So let's make a start by asking simply, what is heart rate? Okay, pretty straightforward question there. What is heart rate? The number of times the heart beats per minute, as you can see in front of you. It's really important that you remember to give the unit there, per minute. If you're asked for any further details, you might want to include that it's one contraction and one relaxation of the heart, which makes up one beat. And as you can see, it's the average for an adult is approximately 72 beats per minute. So we're going to move on then and look at resting heart rate, and full marks to those of you who've already picked up that I've made a typo there. Of course it should say what is resting heart rate. I might argue that I did that on purpose, but of course you know I'd be lying, so we'll skip that. So you need to think, okay, what is resting heart rate? Based upon the knowledge you know already, see if you can answer that question before we move on. Why don't you pause the slide and give yourself a chance to reflect on this question. Okay, how would you answer? What is resting heart rate? Of course, the key to the question is the word resting, and as you can see in front of you, it's actually pretty much the same as what we talked about with heart rate. It's the number of times the heart beats per minute when a person is at rest or is resting, and the average, as we've seen already, 72 beats per minute. Those who are physically fit could be much lower, as low as 50 or 60 beats per minute, and you can see there that the elite performers can be even lower, down to 40 or 50 beats per minute. In terms of an exam question, the key point there is at rest. Resting heart rate. Okay, so we're probably getting the hang of things now. It's not rocket science. We see what the next question is. What is working heart rate? Based upon what we've just looked at with regards to resting heart rate, you ought to be able to give a really good stab at what this means. So again, why don't you just pause the video and answer this question yourself before you listen to me describe what this is about. What is working heart rate? So your response needs to be perhaps a little bit more detailed than just saying it's when the heart is working, because of course your heart is always working. But if you look at the slide, we can pull out some important points here, and the key words there are the intensity of exercise or the physical demands placed upon the heart. So working heart rate there is the rate at which the heart beats each minute in response to the intensity, how hard the exercise or the physical activity is. Right? So the lower the intensity of work, obviously that will relate to or result in a lower heart rate, rather than the higher the intensity of work, the higher the heart rate. Okay, so this next question is a real favourite with the exam boards. It's a really straightforward one, but it's important that you understand this and you know this. So here's the question: what is maximum heart rate? Again, there's a little equation involved here which you may have come across. Again, you might want to stop the slide now, stop the video, pause it, and see if you can give an adequate, suitable answer before we move on. Okay, so here's the response. Maximum heart rate, another word for maximum is highest, so you want to be looking at a response that's something like this. It's the highest number of times your heart beats per minute. And with regard to the equation that we talked about, you can see there it's 220 minus your age. So if you're 14, 15, possibly 16, then you can make sure you get the maths right. 215 take away 15. Maximum heart rate would be 205. Often the exam boards ask that. They even expect you to know that, because they might have a sub-question based upon that. Often my students say to me, so why is it 220? I said, you know what? Don't know. Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about that. You just need to remember the equation is 220 minus your age equals your maximum heart rate. Here's another favourite which the exam boards like, and that one refers to recovery time. So in this case, what is heart rate recovery time? Pause the slide again, have a think about it before we move on. Now, this area is an area where you brainy guys can really get a hold and perhaps get a few more supplementary marks, because you can see it here. It's talking about the time it takes for the heartbeat to return to its resting heart rate after exercise. You can expand on this by saying this is actually a really good indicator of fitness. Okay, as you can see, the quicker the recovery time, the stronger the heart, the more efficient the heart is, and therefore the fitter it is to bring it back down to resting heart rate. So what is recovery time? It's the time that it takes the heartbeat to return to its resting heart rate after exercise.